All right. Ben wants to play again. I'm just going to really quickly show you the deck I'm about to play. So this is Green Groff. I have not collected all of the Young Wolves that I would want to play in this deck. I would probably play all 4. They become draftable next week, so I'm holding off. So this is not an optimized version of green, but I just want to run through to show off the power of green. So I think the powerful cards in green are actually the not creature. Well, the understated powerful cards are Mystic and Elves, right? This kind of ramp really turns you, and then being a monocolored deck is also a really powerful kind of way to play. So I think the strongest cards are Savage Swipe and Skyshroud Ambush. Both of these cards I think are really strong removal spells. This one puts a lot of pressure on the opponent, and this one, removes a creature, draws a card a lot of the time. So it's very good, and it plays well with your Veils and your Gaea's Gift. The other cards, like these would probably get cut for more Young Wolves, and then Gnoll Hunters I think are reasonable. I'm just practicing seeing how I like them compared to Gnarlid Colonies. I think Gnarlid Colony is probably better than Gnoll Hunter, but it's also a reasonable spell. And then the Krushok is also a very good card. So I probably start when you start collecting more Young Wolves, or you already have more Young Wolves, I'd probably cut the Visionaries and to make room for them, and then potentially like the Mother Bear put in just in the board. This is a good card, but I don't think it's as good as the other main deck options that you could be playing. And then other cards, again, just trying these to see what I like more between Gnoll Hunter and Gnarlid Colony. Sorry, it took too long to respond to his challenge. These are Khalni Gardens and Tranquil Thickets. It's a lot of tap lands for a monocolored deck. I've been just playing with the numbers here. Right now I'm playing a little bit more Khalni Gardens just to be able to play the Groff, since I'm only playing one Young Wolf. But I think as you play more Young Wolves, you can cut down on these numbers. I still think you'd probably want to play 1 or 2 even with the full 4 Young Wolves, just to have. It's good for sack fodder, so if the opponent's playing any sacrifice spells like Innocent Blood, it's good for that, and it's good like as a chump blocker in a race situation. So I think having 1 or 2 of these, even if you max out on the 4 Young Wolves, is reasonable, but I'm probably playing more than needed because I'm not maxed out on Young Wolves. And then the Tranquil Thickets, they do kind of cause issues sometimes, but other times being able to cycle is really clutch. A lot of times you get with you're in 3 Llanowar Elves and just air, and so being able to cycle a land away is kind of nice. And then the sideboard, I just have kind of the typical stuff for green. Green, I feel like this is a pretty underrated sideboard card. The gain for life portion of it is actually a lot of life. And then the rest of the cards are pretty standard. I don't think they're pretty self-explanatory. The only other thing is Masked Vandal's a really good card. You might want to play more of those. It works well with Bannerhide Krushok because sometimes it's hard to get a creature in the graveyard, but this allows you to get a creature in the graveyard against auras specifically because they won't really kill your stuff. So this discarding, making a creature bigger, getting a creature in your graveyard to exile to Masked Vandal so you can take out an ethereal armor is really important for this deck. And then these are good if they happen to give the creature flying. If the creature's on the ground, then you have this death touch creature. If they don't have first strike, if they have first strike, then you have to Gaea's Gift, or you have to Tamiyo's to give it indestructible and then have it trade, or not trade. It would stay alive in that situation. Or let me challenge him again. He's a challenge expired. Oops, I don't know what I'm doing here. Just taking way too long. There he is. So hopefully you enjoy the 3 different decks, very different decks. Well, I guess the first 2 are similar, even though they're different Explorer versus there. So here's a situation where Khalni Garden does not hurt you. I think it's always important to point out the situations where it's not affecting the gameplay. Savage Swipe kind of improves this deck, this hand. It's pretty rare out of the 4 the 8 elves that to not draw an elf in the opening hand, but it does happen. I think this is like the borderline where it would be. Oh, that's funny. So I want to be able to kill a Groff next turn. Unfortunately, so what I could do is if I get a 2 power creature on board, but then I need my elf in play as well. I'm just thinking if I have a 2 power creature in play, then I can Savage Swipe his token. Oh, but the token's going to be gone too. So yeah, so unfortunately he's going to have the Groff advantage here unless I could play my elf and Savage Swipe his plant. I don't think that's a winning line. I'll go ahead and do this. I guess this can trade with the Groff and is not a miserable play. Because I can power it up with Savage Swipe and then they could trade with each other. Okay, so he's not on mono green like I am. When it dies, return. Okay. All right. So he's on some sort of sacrifice deck. So he has bridges as well. So he's playing black. So he is most definitely playing Deadly Dispute. So I think I go ahead and Savage Swipe this turn and then Gnoll Hunter, or maybe I don't have to Savage Swipe this turn. Although it allows me to get through. Maybe I ram through. Yeah, I think I ram through. It just brings it to his hand, right? Yeah, so I go ahead and ram through this. So I can keep my attacking going. He can bring back a different Khalni Garden. It's kind of nice that it's not just a basic land, it's any land. This can be an infinite chump blocker with it can be an infinite chump blocker with the Havengul land that brings back a card at random. So you could play this, block with it, bring back the Havengul land, sack the land to bring back this, and just keep doing that over and over again. So it costs your land drop every turn plus 6 mana. Or 5 mana, I guess. No, 6 mana. It costs 6 mana. Yeah, land drop and 6 mana every turn. So it's not the best. I think it's important enough to get this on the board, and I tap out of my protection spells. Okay. All right. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see, bring back Royal Eruption. Okay. I feel good about this turn. I like drawing that. So let's go ahead and start getting counters on my Gnoll Hunter. Doesn't matter which one I pump up between the bear and the Gnoll Hunter. And I go ahead and play this Young Wolf out, even though again it taps me out of my. Oh, you know what? That was a really bad decision. Yeah. I feel really stupid about that. I mean, he has the removal spell in hand. He's going to want to cast out my Gnoll Hunter. That was an extremely bad play. I should have totally held up the Krushok. Yeah, I feel really stupid. Because that was my... and I drew another protection spell when I have a creature that I don't need to protect anymore. He's already chumping this. Like that. fine with me. So this is where the counters guy, he's a counters lord. He gives trample to all creatures with. Okay. Okay, so he's got infinite with his Uborg. So I need to put a lot more pressure or I'm dead. And he's going to have another elf this turn. So I think I just go ahead and crash in, see what his blocks are, and then decide what to do there. Okay. Unfortunate. Because now I am on the ropes here. So the Mother Bear is out of range of his removal spell, but I think from now on his Elementalist is going to get back his repossession. Having that as the finishing, and I just have not kept my my counter. I think this turn was justifiable because I'm not winning if I don't just slam everything onto the table. But yeah, so with him playing a 5/4, the game's over. Yeah, so I think I made a huge mistake that turn. I played the Young Wolf. It was super unnecessary. All right. Given that, I think I have a reasonable amount of protection spells. I actually might want to cut the 2 mana one and maybe potentially play the 1 mana one. This can also help protect, but I like getting the counter more. He does have some artifacts and enchantments, but none that I really am super scared of. This one, attacking and having built-in trample is good, and then of course the relics. Okay, so now what are the worst cards? I think Visionary is actually kind of good against him. Savage Swipe is a little bit of a liability. Then he's going to have Wraths. So I want to get rid of the Dryad. The Elves I think are so important. Okay, so maybe I cut some of these rather than my Savage Swipes. All right. Do I have enough 2 mana creatures or two power creatures that my Savage Swipe will still do a little bit? Think so. Yeah. Ram through. Ram through is not really necessary. I think I have to play another creature with 2 power, even though it's 1 toughness. So I made myself a little bit sleeker. Yeah. He doesn't have anything like critical for me to remove. I'm just going to have to attack past. So I think I hope to dodge into the festivities, really. So most people aren't playing, 3 or 4. I think it's going to be 1 or 2 out of the board that are coming in. So let's just hope that I get value from my elves. Unfortunately, this is not going to work. No elves and no lands. All right, 1 elf. Doesn't really do much though after that. I mean, I guess I have 2 protection spells, so I would have to play the elf, sack it to Bayou Groff, and then have to hold up this for the rest of the game and hope to ride the Bayou Groff to victory. Will 5 cards beat him? I don't think so. So I think I have to just hope. And then, so I'm never going to play 3 mana and tap out of my protection spells with this hand. So let's see if I can... so if this survives turn 1, I think I'm golden because he's not going to have much that kills the Groff on 2. Okay, well that I think changes the picture here. So I think I go ahead and Young Wolf into Groff. I was going to say that there's not much that kills the Groff. Actually, cancel. I'll just no attacks. I'll keep up my safekeeping. I don't want my elf to die, and I'm not playing a land drop, so he's going to go after my elf. So I'll go ahead and Snakeskin Veil. All right. I'll go ahead and play this. Let's go ahead and attack with my Young Wolf first. Get every last piece of damage here. Sacrifice the Young Wolf. So this is a situation where this would much prefer to be, well, not much prefer. I mean, getting the Young Wolf to 2 power is also pretty good. So now I'm safe against End of Festivities. He's spending his removal spell on my elf, but I've already emptied my hand, so I think I'm okay with this. Do I put... no, I don't. I still think I just hold up mana for the safekeeping. I have Ambush for a creature if he taps out of red. So I kind of like this. That draw wasn't very good. Alright, he has one more turn. So let's see if he has a removal spell. Yeah, him not having a removal spell at end of turn there really means that I think this safekeeping is going to win me the game. It doesn't give trample though. So I have a removal spell for it. Question is, I might, okay, he's gonna just spend it. Okay, that makes me feel good. Yes, well, that's unfortunate. So I go ahead and, I guess I could safekeeping. I could do this and then Skyshroud Ambush and then attack, or I could safekeeping. Oh, I needed to land there. I like the idea of being able to play land to keep up my safekeeping, because I think that really puts the game out of his reach. I mean, he's going to have to sack a land for his removal spell on his turn, but that means he's still alive, unfortunately. So not drawing a land there really, it's the thorn in my side. So, oh, well, he didn't have it. Okay. I guess he wouldn't have passed to sack a land. He could have played all of those. Or he could have paid 5 mana. So I think I sided fine. So maybe 18 lands is a little bit too low. Let's see. I showed him I have Stalkers this game. No, I didn't. I still haven't shown him that I have Stalkers in my deck. I'm just thinking about like potentially playing, like making him think that if I have more 1 toughness, if he didn't already bring in all of his End of Festivities, he should have. So, yeah. Especially the way that game played out, I'm thinking maybe more than 18 lands is fine, because you want to hold up your protection spells, as well as advance your board. So I might cut the Llanowar Visionaries right now for land. Maybe I'll only go down to 1 cycle land, 1 or 2 cycle lands, and 18 have more untapped lands. And yeah, I'm just not drawing lands, so I think potentially this is the cost of me playing so many. Okay, so this is a better hand. Yeah, so these Visionaries just cost too much. Although this game, I'm probably going to have to just crack the Relic to draw another card. So this might be the worst card in the hand. Or it might be Groff. Might be Groff. Let's try it this way. And that might have been a hand that wasn't a keep as well. Although drawing my third land makes me feel really good about this right now. So maybe I won't have to crack my Relic. But me not having to crack my Relic, maybe I just want to crack it this turn. Yeah, drawing an elf. So let's keep up my Relic right now. If he doesn't do anything, I think I'll keep my Relic in play and hold up Snakeskin Veil. Okay. With him still not doing anything, do I play out my Krushok, my 4/4? He does have a lot of ways to get rid of a 4/4. I think I play it slow, but I think I tap out of this first. Maybe that's too timid. Although I do want to keep my elf for one more turn. Yeah, I'll go ahead and protect this. Yep. Right. So do I bluff the he doesn't have any sack spells. I could really bluff him with playing untap land. I think I'm actually there where I want to try to get him to play badly, because I don't think I'm winning if I don't. But the other cost of this is me doing this might make him feel like, oh, I can't play around it anyway, so he might just run into my my card that I'm representing when I don't actually have it, and I'm just passing on 1 damage. Again, if I was passing on more than 1 damage, I don't think this would have been worth it, but I think it's fine. This does allow me to cycle my Relic at end of turn to try to draw into some more business. Okay. Like this. Oh, I like him tapping out. That makes me feel good, because you don't get to draw the card if they deadly dispute the creature, because the ambush doesn't resolve. Yeah, I think I need to draw a little bit more gas, so I think go ahead and crack this right now. Kind of continue my my pressure, and drawing into that makes me feel really good. Okay, so let's start with here. Sure. Okay. All right, well, I was faking representing my safekeeping, but now I drew it, so feel good about drawing it now. Especially because this is the turn where he'd probably want to play his big removal spell on my Krushok. So the Krushok might be able to go to distance with 1 safekeeping to back it up, because it's difficult to get rid of it. Okay. So, my turn. Let's go ahead and attack in the Krushok alone. I guess I could. I'm just gonna play another Krushok. Okay. Keeping up the safekeeping. Unfortunately, I don't have both this turn. So one cool thing you can do is you can give your creature indestructible with the safekeeping, and then fight it with a creature that it would not normally die to. But now I can do this fancy play where I attack with both Krushoks. If he blocks and blocks, I can give one indestructible and then fight it with the other one, and be able to draw a card and save my other one. So this does open me up if he has instant speed removal. Okay. That's fine. So now, does that change my plan? I get to keep my... So I feel like him blocking like that means he doesn't have a removal spell. So I think I go ahead and go all in a little bit. I should have used my elf to play the safekeeping. So let's see if this resolves first. It's nice that this resolves first. Okay, so I can go ahead and let this damage go through. Yeah, there's no reason I should play this first, so let's go ahead and let that go through. Okay, let's go ahead and fight this one with this one. It will win the fight, and I'll be able to draw a card. I guess he could sack his Groff. Yeah, so it was a good play by him. Interesting, the Groffs only cost 2 mana, so they only gain 2 life. So I'm a little bit vulnerable here. Okay, at least that removal spell doesn't, or my removal spell lines up good with his. Okay. So he can't really block it anyways. I could also play my Gnoll Hunter and use my Gnoll Hunter to do that. I guess I can decide next turn what I want to do with the Savage Swipe. The one advantage I would get by pre-combat playing the Gnoll Hunter and trying to fight it is I would be able to attack with the elf. Alright. And then he couldn't use a removal spell. I think that's fine, so he's going to end step a removal spell on my Krushok. Unfortunately, I don't have the answer. So it's the second elf. I do have an answer, and my Gnoll Hunter will grow. And this is 7 mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can't quite play that. All right. Okay. Does he have the glare? Annihilating glare. All right. So I do have the answer for that. And him tapping so low makes me feel pretty good. All right. So I think I could Groff fight, Groff, fight, and then attack with everything. Kind of like that. It plays around a smaller removal spell. So let's go and sacrifice my autopay there. So I think this is slightly safer than using Savage Swipe on my Gnoll Hunter. So Savage Swipe here first. Let's see if he has any stops. This also can kind of suss out if he has any stops. And if he taps out, then I'm going to go for it. Meaning Savage Swipe my Gnoll Hunter and attack him. I guess I don't have to Savage Swipe my Gnoll Hunter. Is it still lethal even if I don't Savage Swipe my Gnoll Hunter? So I could just sacrifice my Groff. And then he'll play a removal spell, and I can potentially attack in and trade with his elephant. Yeah, so I think I do it this way, even though if he doesn't have anything, this is strictly a worse move, but this would be better because then he could have played a removal spell on my Gnoll Hunter. So next turn I have him dead, unless he has 2 removal spells. Oh, I forgot he has a trump coming, herd coming in. So if he has 1 removal spell, he could potentially live. Okay, that's a good sign. And then the removal spell specifically has to be on his Krushok, on my Krushok. So he has to draw into Annihilating Glare, basically. Failing to think of other than like murder, and murder tends to be a little bit underplayed. I guess instant speed he could have. Okay, what does he have? I don't even know. Let's see what he brings back. So he could. Okay, so he's going to try to gain life around it. It has trample. I have 7, so I can't do this yet. So go ahead and attack with this. He'll gain 4, and I'll deal 5 with the Snakeskin Veil if he blocks like I think. So it's Elephant on Elf and Elementalist in front of Krushok. Okay, so he lives through this, so I can go ahead and allow this, but then my elf doesn't die. So that's fine with me. So I was expecting him to do it the opposite, elf on elephant. Okay, so I just let him react. So he has to play it right now. Otherwise, he dies. Okay. So yeah, so this is strictly worse. So I'm going to be able to hold up my Snakeskin Veil. I guess it wasn't strictly worse. It saved him a couple points of damage and actually allowed him to live. Because if he did the other line, I would have won with the Snakeskin Veil. So I guess he played correctly. But yeah, having the Veil in hand, I think I'm gonna win. Let's see. Can't think of anything. He can live another turn with another Reckoner's Bargain on his Wellspring. Sacrifices a creature. Well, that does it. All right, I think I go ahead and play a land. Okay. So I maybe made a mistake by holding my Veil for and not saving my elf. Man, so this is gonna gain him a life and start bringing him back into the game. So I have to take a turn off to Krushok, where I'd open myself up. So I would have a 5/5 elf, but it would be tapped. If I draw a land, even then though, it's probably I want to be able to suit up my elf and attack in. Okay. Does he have Annihilation Glares in the board in his graveyard? I'm just waiting to see what he brings back rather than look through. I guess I should look. So he has Reckoner's Bargain that he's going to choose to bring back. Well, yes, resolve. So I have a lot of outs. So Relic kind of interrupt this little chump blocking. I have my oh man, that's like the most painful card. Because I could play it. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I hold it in hand, play one of my Krushoks, or scavenge one of my Krushoks onto my elf. So one argument to casting or to playing the Thicket. Oh man. Well, I would have been out of it anyways. All right. So now he starts the beatdown. I think this is over. Oh, that can bring me back a little bit. Let's start with cycling this. See if I can draw something. All right. And then let's play this. Do I cycle right now? I don't think I do, because I want to be able to play my Krushok. So now the question is, do I have enough time, because of his Groff beating down, to kind of get all my pieces into play? So basically, suit up my Elvish Mystic, but at the same time, keeping no blocks. Oh no, okay. It doesn't really change the overall things going on because I was now on the defensive, but it makes me much less likely to be able to win on a crackback. Okay, resolve. And I might have to crack the Relic. The thing is, though, the only thing I would use so much mana on is a Krushok anyways. Going to town. All right, so I have to be able to block this. And he's still presenting lethal, so I have to block another creature in addition to his 6 power. Does that allow me to live? So if I block his 5 power, then I can live. So I'm not going to be able to do this, so I think I have to go ahead and crack this. I don't think there's much outs for me, but might as well try to draw it into it. So drawing a land there is very, very bad. Drawing 2 lands. Unfortunate. Good games. So, yeah, he had that removal spell for my elf, and I think that's what sealed the deal. All right.